Maybe you're wondering what we are looking at here, and I guess you can kind of already see it. It probably is about portals and something with portals. Maybe you thought about how to create my own portal so that I can go into some kind of custom portal and end up in some other location. Before, we already looked at Multiverse Core, which is a plugin for world creation and world management. But you could also create portals which teleport you in one of those worlds. Today we're focusing on a new plugin, or rather, for this channel, a new plugin, which is solely focusing on portals and the teleportation. For that, I created this custom setup, so I can easily show the capabilities of the plugin and let you understand how you can use it. You don't have to obviously build anything like I did. This is just to see how they are connected, where you get teleported, and we will set them up together. But before we do anything, I'd say we go into the browser and check out the plugin page and how to download it. As I said, today we're looking at advanced portals, and some guy named Spigot made it, and it's almost 3 years here on Modrinth, but it's older than that. So there are tutorial videos out which are like 10 years old, so this plugin has made some changes over the years, or probably a decade now, and you see it has about 93,000 downloads, and you see it is supported basically for all the major versions which people could use. So it's going from 1.8.x up to the newest one, 26.1.x, so you can use it on whatever version you want. I will, as I stated before, for now stay on the 1.21.10 until a lot of major things are ported to the new versions. It supports the biggest loader types you can think of. You see Bukkit, BungeeCord, Folia, Paper, Purple, Spigot, Velocity, and even Waterfall. So you can use it basically on all loaders. So it's a very compatible plugin, let's say. This description here is a small one, and it's not really a documentation. For the documentation, we have to go to another page. You have the gallery, in which you can see that you can build different things and the basic features, but we don't look at those. We will do it in-game ourselves. To download the plugin, you go to versions, then you use the platform picker to select your platform of choice. In my case, it's paper. Then you select your game version. In that case, it is for me 1.21.10. And then you pick the highest version, which is the 2.7.1. And then you simply click on download and put that plugin in your plugins folder. That's it. So for the documentation, you have a list of commands link here. And this brings you to the homepage of Advanced Portals of the developer, and you can see all the commands we have available. I will go through them so we can create portals. We can even have a custom selector they built in, so we don't have to have world edit on the server. I have, but we can also use the built-in selector to create portals. You can, of course, remove portals. You can choose where to teleport when going through a portal. You can even teleport someone to another server using the BungeeCord feature, basically. And you also have, normally you can't get the portal blocks using the give command, but they built in a few commands like end portal block and gateway block. And using these, you get the portal block, because that's how you can use them to build nicer portals, basically. And then a few meta commands, nothing really of interest besides the show command, which visualizes where a portal is and where the structure is and where the teleportation area is, but I will show that too. Then we also have the desti command, which is basically a command to set the destination for the portal, so you can have multiple destinations and the portals need to be set to a certain destination so the portals can teleport you to a certain location. I guess that is it for the documentation page. I'd say we go back in-game and check the plugin out. now that we are back in game, we can start looking at those portals. And I'd say we start with the outer right one, with the basic obsidian portal. I simply built those wool connections to just easily see where is the place I set, where we should go, basically. And just to visualize it for me and for everyone else, what my goal of connection was, basically. And it has no reason for the plugin, so you don't have to build some kind of line from portal to destination. You can, of course, set something there and teleport to something behind the forest, so you have total flexibility. This is just my setup. So, of course, a portal needs a frame, and the frames are on this side, and the destinations I will create on this side. Of course, now they're not working, so this is not really doing anything. But to activate it, or to, let's say, make it a real portal in the sense of this plugin, we just pick the selector. So we don't use world edit, we will simply use the built-in wand they added, because maybe you don't have world edit and this makes it a bit more realistic for your use case, maybe. So you just type /portal or portals or advanced portals. AP, you can type, they have a lot of aliases. So you just type /portal and wand. Then you get this iron axe, and this can be used. So you can click here and here. It's like world edit, but just for portal selection. And this is basically the portal area. And to create it, we have to now use /portal create. And now you see a bunch of tags, as they call it. Tags are basically options to set stuff. So we have Bungie, which is a selector for a Bungie server. So you can send someone to a certain server. This is not a BungeeCord setup or a proxy setup, so I can't show or use it, but you are free to use it for BungeeCord. You just type Bungie and the Bungie server you want to send. You can also execute a command, so you can use the command tag to basically place a command which then executed besides the teleportation. So you could either combine it or use it only to execute a certain command to a player, or in general, globally. You also have the cooldown. Of course, you can say a player can't use it more than every 30 seconds, for example. You can have it delayed, so the teleportation will not happen instantly. The desti is basically from the destination command, so this will set the portal to a certain destination. Then you have message, so you can show a message. You have name, that's the name of the portal. You have perm for permission, and permissions, of course, you can set freely, so you can say any certain permission is needed to be able to use the portal. If you don't know about permissions that much, I'd recommend my Luck Perms permissions video, which is very thorough. It's about over 30 minutes, but a lot of people like it, and I guess it's really helpful. That's just my opinion. Maybe you check it out in the top right now. But to simply create a very easy portal, which is very identical to the original Nether portal, we will simply do name and maybe call it Nether. Then we have command, just to show how to use the command tag. So you do just a command insert here, for example, say hello, and then it will simply print hello in the global chat for everyone. And you can also set desti, and desti will be the destination we want to send the player when they enter this portal, and we call it simply Nether desti. So now it's created and we can try to use it, but nothing happens. And this is because we didn't set any block inside of the portal. So normally you can define from a certain set of blocks which blocks should be used. So in that case, when we created it without any trigger block, as it's called in the plugin, then it took for us automatically the Nether portal. But we don't have any Nether portal inside of the portal blocks. Therefore it can't work, not even blocking us from entering it, because the destination doesn't exist yet. So there is a command, as I said, /portal portal block. And this can be used to set the portal. And now this looks like this because of my shaders, but now we can enter it basically. And it won't allow us to enter because the destination still doesn't exist. As you see, no destination but by the name Nether Desti was found. So we have to create it so we can get teleported. I will create it on this block here in the center and look at the portal. And we do it by simply doing /desti create name Nether Desti. We can also specify here a message which should be shown and a permission which the player would need to use it basically. We can just press enter and it says destination has been successfully created. And now we can enter the portal. It's not important from what side, and we end up there. See the effect? Simple teleportation, nothing spectacular. Let's try again. See, we arrived perfectly fine and the command executed twice because we went through twice. But you're not limited to create portals in the standard portal format, so you can also create portals which are in the ground, and I wanted to show it in this example. So you can simply select this area. You can also make it deeper if you want. You don't have to use this depth. You can make it as you like. So I already selected this area completely, and now I can simply create a new portal, /portal create name, and we call it gold maybe, and we skip the command for now because we saw that the command works. Maybe we do delete 1 and we do trigger block air because this is air inside as of Minecraft. Everything else which is not a certain block is the air block. And then we have to choose the Desti, which we will just call gold Desti. So now we can go in it, and no destination by the name gold Desti was found. So that's why I created those lines to connect, to easily see where I want to create stuff. Now we do simply the command from before, name gold Desti, and that's it. Then if I go in there, we see we arrived and no command was executed here because obviously we didn't create one. So now we already have 2 portals and the procedure is basically the same. I just wanted to show different materials, different sizes to just show how it can work if you want that. So now we can select this one and we can simply use air because it makes more sense in this scenario. And we can call it wool Desti because it's a wool block. And then we do Desti 3 and the name is wool. So now if you want to go through, it will kick us out and say wool Desti was not found. We can create it here. Again, the Desti command, wool Desti, maybe also a message. Hi there, and maybe see if this works. So we saw the name in the bottom row, wool Desti. As I said, it's very easy and simple, and you can create the portals in different types and sizes and materials as you want. Very important is just to set the trigger block in the portal creation, so it really knows where to set the blocks basically. This one I built to show it with water, and you know maybe of some old servers or also current servers which use those water portals or big portals, and we can easily do this water thing here. We basically have a big waterfront and we can simply select this whole block of glass. Now it's connected, and then we do portal create water Desti, then we do obviously water, and you see when we check it out it says air and gateway, so it is specified for us with autocomplete. We do water and delete we can remove now, and then we do water, And you see you have a few other options you can try out. Maybe we set the cooldown to 60 seconds and enter. So now this is created, and no matter where you go in, it will kick you out because water desti is missing. Now we go here and say slash desti create name water desti, enter, and if we go through, we end up here. That's basically how you can create a portal with the water like you know it, or the air, also air, or the nether portal. But you can also create an end portal, and this is why I decorated this one, the last one, so much. We can set an end portal block inside of this in the center and basically teleport also using this one. Basically the same as for the nether portal, it's just the end portal basically. And we can simply do slash portal, and we can do end portal block, and then we get another block set, and you see this is the end portal block from the end portal. And now we can use this axe and set from here to here slash portal create name end, and maybe again a command hashtag give at the grass underscore block 1. Maybe this works. I don't know if it does, but that's not important. Then we do desti and we do end desti, and then we do enter. And if we now want to enter this one, we didn't set anything. I just noticed it says still nether portal. This was my bad. If we now enter, it could happen that we get teleported to the end. So let's maybe check slash portal, and we remove the end portal and simply create it again with the trigger block and the end portal. Enter, end portal is set, and if we enter it, we get thrown out. The destination is missing. Go here, do slash desti create name end desti. Now it creates, now it exists, and we can enter it. And that's it. And we even got one grass block, so you can use the @p, @a, and the other selectors to execute commands, for example, like in a command block. So this is very nice. You can therefore combine and build very nice portals which do a lot of stuff. And now I noticed we didn't try out the cooldown in the water portal. So maybe let's start again. We went in, and please wait 57 seconds. So everything in this plugin works perfectly fine as expected. But one thing I wanted to show. I just showed how to remove or delete portals. So you can do slash desti, move, and choose any destination, and enter would delete it. But you could also do slash portal, remove, and select anything, and enter would delete it. The interesting thing we still have open is the show command. So slash portal show shows us basically all the portal frames and how it basically is connected. So we have the first selection, the second selection, the full selection, and in the middle the blue one is the area which teleports us. So also here we have first selection, then we have last selection, and we have the area which teleports us. Also here we have the area that teleports us and the selection. Also this one, the blue one, this teleports us. And here we can't see it that well, but it is there, the blue particles. This is basically the frame, and this teleports us. But there's also a command to show the desti blocks. So slash desti show. And then you see where the destinations from those destination blocks basically are. They all show in this direction because obviously the portals are in this direction. So if you create a portal in this direction, it would turn in this direction. If you have two portals, it would simply show where the middle of those two portals is. So if you have For example, this portal and this portal go to the same destination, then the arrow would show in the middle of those two portals, basically. So all those features combined, I think makes this a very powerful plugin, and I think it's a very robust one too, considering you can even use proxy and server teleportation, you have commands, you have cooldown, you basically have everything. It's a very mature portal plugin for your server. So in that sense, I guess that's it for this video. If you liked it, maybe leave a like and a subscription. If you think somebody else could benefit from this, maybe share this video to show it to someone, and then I will see you in the next one.